All right, welcome everybody to the Aaron Lewis, aka Brazen Atheist, after party. That's the second half of what I was going to say. Sorry about the delay, guys. I was attacked by my landlord because my little grocery thing that we put all our groceries into, I called it a grocery cart, and Aaron thought I was crazy because I had kept one from a grocery store. So. But it's just a little cart, and we had it behind the car because usually Wednesday nights my roommate comes back with a bunch of groceries, so she just wheels them up in the little cart, and it makes it easy. But he tore my head off and made me move it. But since I'm done with this, I'll take it back downstairs because my roommate never gets home until about 8:30, 9 o'clock here. So all good. Then he can yell at me some more if he really, really wants to. He seems to like to yell at me. Which is really weird because I'm like twice his size, and I could like bench press him. So I don't know why he acts all tough with me, but it's always those little guys that have, it's like little dog syndrome, I think. Don't know what that is? Little dog syndrome? I do.
I do. I'm more of a cat person though.
Oh, there's one in the other room right now, but he's too fat and lazy to come over here. I even tried to call him over.
Mine just wandered in.
You keep cat people in your rooms?
Maybe. I'm sorry. You'll have to pay more money for the sequel to find out the answer to that question and many more. The sequel. I think there has to be an actual goal before there's a sequel.
So
all right.
There we are. I finally managed to open the chat.
Oh yeah, I was wondering.
Yeah, well, there's only a couple of folks in there right at the moment. Yeah, I was sitting out front, and that's where the manager came to get me. And I was having a cigarette and a beer and a little bit of a doobie, and he yelled at me for that first, and then he started yelling at me for the grocery thing. So I was like, yeah, don't be a dick. So I went downstairs and I had to bring it up. That's what took so long, just so you guys get it. That was a hell of an explanation for that. For being like 10 minutes later than normal.
Well,
but
people like to know what's going on. You know?
That's true. That's why we have shit like Instagram.
Mm.
So everyone can take pictures of exactly what they're doing at that moment and share it with everybody.
My editor had suggested that I get into Instagram. So did some of the girls before I quit dancing.
Yeah.
I have no desire to do that. I take really bad selfies. I don't know my angles. I don't know any of that shit. So I have no idea how to use filters.
Well, I have from the last Faithless Forum that I went to, I still have poor Kyle he used to host the non-sex show. I still have his selfie stick that he left behind there. So
nice.
Yeah, I've never used it. My arms are pretty long, so I don't really think I need it.
Yeah, I never really, I don't know. I never got into selfies. They kind of, I always catch if I flip the phone around and I go to open it, inevitably it'll be like the worst thing ever. And I'm like, okay, I should just not ever do that again.
No, you never wanted to like if you bought a new outfit and you were going out to show it off. I just missed a few words there.
Going off to show it off. Never
been like that.
No, because I don't know. Especially like when social media started happening and so many people knew what I did, I was always kind of worried that people are going to look at me like I'm like an attention whore, like look at her post. Like I have tons of friends that do that, and it's really irritating. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, look at me. I don't know. I never really liked doing that, and I always felt like I might be judged a little bit more because of what I do. And like even now, I see girls that I worked with that are my age and I'm 40, or I'll see girls that are a little bit older than me and I'll look at their picture and I'm like, oh my God, they have no wrinkles. I'm like, you can't get enough Botox to make that happen. And it took me forever to realize that on your phone, you have options to like filter, and to kind of like change shit. And I was like, well, that's bullshit. Here I am feeling like crap, I'm like, I can only afford so much filler and I'm never going to look like that. And then I realized that it was garbage. So yeah, I don't know. I don't. I'm pretty conservative with how many pictures I post, especially just myself, and food pictures irritate the fuck out of me.
I mostly post pictures of Battenberg. That's pretty much all I put in terms of food pictures.
Just frustrated there. Sorry about that, right?
Hey,
what's
I
going
got a
on,
badger
guys?
and a pig.
I'm gonna tweet out this show. So that's kind of why I was looking down there for a minute.
Can y'all hear me all right?
Yep.
Nope, can't hear you at all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, Badger, you can never hear me. So it's okay.
No, you always seem to be a laggy boy when you come in my things.
Well, yeah, I found my Bluetooth headphones for my phone because the tablet, for some reason, doesn't like using my plug-in headphones at all. So, and besides, the tablet's low on data, so I'm just on here with my phone. So what's going on? It's now gotten to a quiet moment, and I don't like that.
Oh, that's probably my fault because I'm ignoring you, Russ. I'm just kidding.
Oh, well,
I'm trying to tweet this out.
You're just underneath Neil there in the little 4-pane window, and he's just kind of staring down at you with this look of condescension, like, look you down there below me.
Condescension.
Look, if I want condescending looks, I'll just say something stupid to my wife.
Yeah, that'll work.
She'll definitely look at me like I'm stupid, but you know.
Yeah, but you're with us a lot, so you should be used to that.
Yeah. Although I'm not actually with y'all a lot these days.
No, well,
I'm actually not with y'all a lot these days, so I get the majority of those looks from my wife now.
All right.
Whenever she's just like, really? Was those were the words you wanted to use right now? Really?
Why would you do this?
Fucking not.
Like, why would you want to get those kind of looks?
Oh, I don't ever want to. I just get them because, well, I'm me.
Well,
we can't see you, so who's that?
I very rarely get on video anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I was getting on video for a while, but it's just now because I'm at work and, well, it's dark over here. It's not exactly, and I don't have exactly the best lighting source. It's not exactly a great to be on video at the moment.
Okay.
That's quite all right.
I'm trying not to come out with too many disparaging lines.
Well, I remember when you first started hanging out, Badger, and you had a bit of a different avatar there. It didn't move. So I think this is a big improvement over your original one, that's for sure.
Yeah, that one has clothes as well.
Yes, it does have clothes.
This Badger is in the nude.
Yeah. Are you?
I've got that one. I spent ages making that one as well. I like it. I spent ages making a load more.
Yeah, including one with a moving badger with a smoking jacket.
Yeah, you had the smoking jacket for a while.
Maybe I should put my smoking jacket on.
Is it going to magically appear? Or?
I don't know.
What the hell is that? Oh, is that a bottle you're drinking?
Yeah, he's drinking while smoking.
I never drink on the show.
Yeah, no. That's new.
He's a bad influence on everyone. He drinks, he smokes. I mean,
he's the reason I started doing this on the show.
Exactly.
Oh, I thought I got it from you.
It might have been that way. Actually, it more than likely was that way. What can I say? I'm Canadian. I'm supposed to like beer, apparently. Well,
I suppose I should put some clothes on.
I thought the only thing that y'all liked was maple syrup. I mean,
maple syrup beer.
My first impression of Canadians came from the movie Strange Brew.
That technically be mead.
That was pretty much all I ever knew.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. 1 second. Where is it?
Oh, he's got the smoking jacket on now.
Oh, yeah, now he does. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be like a kind of mead if you had maple syrup beer?
It would kind of be, because I guess you're right, because mead is basically honey beer. It's actually fermented honey, not beer.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, it's kind of honey wine.
Ooh. Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was wearing earlier today before I took my shower after work. So.
I wasn't very old when I saw that movie.
I
remember when it came out.
I think I was 17, 16, 17 when
it
it
was
came out.
Definitely presented to me as an accurate depiction of Canadians. It was pretty much what showed me.
Well, you know what? For the most part, it would be.
Really?
Yeah, we're hockey nuts. It's not like that all the time. I mean, we do like our beer. Like in the movie, you see the room with like a whole bunch of 2-4s in there.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to think of how many times I even saw that. Maybe only once or twice. But it's been forever. But I was just thinking, yeah.
Well, the best scene in that movie is when Doug falls in the tank with the girl that he's trying to save, and it fills itself up with beer. It starts filling, and he drinks it all.
Yeah.
I know a way we could save us. And he starts drinking it, and he drinks all the beer, and he's like this huge thing full of beer. And of course, Shithead, or the dog, Shithead was his name? Shithead? Anyway, and he became a super dog or whatever. He was flying through the air. There's some pretty funny moments in that movie.
Most of the Canadians I know are sort of like Neil, actually.
No, most Canadians aren't like me.
I don't know. I gotta say, man, Canadians in my experience, 20 years, at least in the strip club, that's pretty much where my, social contact frame of reference is. And have always been really nice. Like really, really, really nice.
Yeah, we try to be.
I suppose.
Go figure.
Yeah. I suppose how people behave in a strip club would probably be a fairly good judge of their character.
People. It is. It's really. It's like an informal sociological study, but people definitely behave different. I think that people are more. They're definitely more open, but they're not really as bad as people think. A lot of times, they're really cool. They're really open. I've met a lot of guys that actually really, really enjoyed spending time with. So they're all perverts. And then there's a few like really crazy perverts where you're like, holy fuck. And it will like stick with you forever, like burn in your brain. So, and sometimes you can't tell. You can't tell till later, but you get to know people on a really intimate level really fast.
So, I would imagine. Yeah.
you learn a lot. Like 30 seconds in someone's lap, and all of a sudden you're.
Marry me.
Yeah. Well, you can just tell by the way somebody acts and by the way they react. And normally you don't find that out about somebody until later,
Yeah.
So
you know what? I would look at that as a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was actually kind of the point of, not to keep plugging myself. That might be a porn term.
Plug away.
Yeah. But no, that was one of the reasons why. Writing about the stuff I did from my point of view was interesting, because all of the real world things that people don't think about, you really learn in kind of like a microcosm in the strip club.
Sure. Yeah.
There's really a lot about that. So, and I learned a lot of shit that people would never know.
Within the strip club, do you get a lot of people who might use strippers as some sort of like therapist, if you will? Like,
oh, definitely.
I can almost imagine someone, within 30 seconds of getting a lap dance, being like, "My father used to beat me, and that's why I turned out to be like this."
No, I did have somebody, and I actually didn't really dance for him, but he told me that he had been a male porn star, but like gay for pay, so he wasn't really gay, for a year. He had a year contract, and he did something like 13 movies, and it was like a decade ago. And he was young, and he was about to get married. It was his bachelor party. And he tells me that he'd done this gay for pay, and he was terrified that his wife or his future wife and his mother-in-law might look it up and find it somehow and see his videos. And he was fucking terrified. He was scared. Yeah. He spent hours talking. We just sat there in the booth talking about it. And, I just listened. And I mean, he gave me a shit ton of money because all his friends had given him. So I was just sitting there listening, and I felt so bad for the guy because it was like traumatic. It was like agreeing to be raped, right? Like, how do you go and do like? So maybe it's a little different for girls, and I happen to kind of like dig chicks, so like that was never an issue for me. But you know what I'm saying? If you're a guy and that's like part of your identity and your masculinity and stuff, I can't imagine going and having to do that and then having it all on film. He told me that it was like this sounds like a movie plot, but he told me that he he gave the money to his grandma to save her house.
Oh, so, that's awesome.
Oh.
And I thought it was bullshit, but it wasn't. He never hit on me. He didn't do anything like that. He just needed to like get that out. He's like, I've never told anybody. Nobody knows about this.
Wow. Cool.
Well, obviously now I said something.
I could be wrong, but from my understanding, there's actually quite a few guys who they started off in the porn industry as part of the gay for pay type of thing, where they were completely straight men, but at the time, where was paying the most, it was gay pornography, and so they were like, "Fuck it, this is paying me more."
Mm-hmm.
So they went gay for pay, and then it just kind of opened up the door for other things where there was females, and then there might have been more guys or whatever.
I don't know
if you're not that bothered by it, it's a good way to get paid.
Yeah, well, this it bothered him. Honestly, I would say it was like he had like post-traumatic stress. It was bad. But somebody just posted on Twitter why they thought soldiers, why there was a higher prevalence of suicide. And that was the other thing that I dealt with a lot was, people coming home. That was their thing, right? You go out to the strip club. It's fun. It's, let's go celebrate. I'm finally home. And they're fucked up and they're crying. And they're like big, old, strong men that come back from this kind of stuff. And that's what I replied to on the Twitter comment. But I saw a lot of that right before 9/11. I was working here in Sacramento, and all the young guys came in right before they shipped off, and they're all full of fucking piss and vinegar. They're ready to go. They're gonna go, get the terrorists. And like I said, this was 2001, so it was like literally right after 9/11. And they're all excited to go over there, but then I see them when they come home, and they're not. It's
different people.
Yeah.
Well,
it's really hard. You hear a lot of that, and they won't talk about it to other people because they don't. No. They want to know somebody who's anonymous, right? They don't even know that I'm telling. I did actually dance by Aaron, which is my real name, but nobody thought that. They would just assumed I was lying, so it worked really good. I never remember a weird name.
And what that has to deal with is the fact that a lot of the people who go overseas, regardless of where it's at, tend to have to do a lot of fucked up shit. For instance, I had a relative of mine who fought in Vietnam, and he came back and he refused to talk about his experiences. But there was one story that they did manage to get out of him, and it was the only story they ever managed to get out of him. And it was the fact that he had to spend 3 days in a foxhole with 6 of his dead buddies because it was better to be counted among the dead than to be caught by the living, because of how horrible the Vietnamese people treated their prisoners of war. And so for 3 days straight, the 3 days straight, he spent in a foxhole as if he were dead and not moving, not doing anything, just because he
want to get captured.
He just couldn't get captured. It was the thing. He couldn't get captured. It's not even I don't want to be. It's I can't be. And so, which is a big mentality with everyone in the military, is that if there's the opportunity, you do anything and everything you can to not be captured, because the enemy will not treat you politely. And so you'll hear all these different stories of people who have to do all these different things. Some of them, if you come to more recently, like what you were saying with, after 9/11 and whatnot, we did have a lot of soldiers who end up having to kill children because children were given grenades to throw at oncoming soldiers.
Kind of stuff. But a lot of times the guys that come in there, they won't talk about it with anybody else.
Of course not.
And they just get tossed off. They're like, "Oh, well, you're home now. Just go back to your normal life."
It's not something you can exactly chat with your schoolmates down the pub about, is it?
No. But yeah, no, there's
well, your mates there like, yeah, I've been playing Halo, and I've been, I threw a grenade, and they're like, oh, I threw a grenade, but it was not a fictional one. It was in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need someone who's not trying to have a laugh and a joke with you to talk about that kind of stuff with.
It's a pretty common tactic, actually, for rebellious militant groups like someone like ISIS or something too, or even when I lived over in Israel, there were stories from the Israeli soldiers of how at the front lines of Lebanon at the time, they were kind of at war with Lebanon. They'd go up against children holding machine guns, 7, 8 years old.
Yeah, they're because a lot of their mentality is the age of to join the military is not exactly a set age. It's can you hold up?
It is in Israel.
Well, it was like can you hold in some areas? It's like with like ISIS and things like that. It's the age is whatever age you are to be able to hold up a rifle and point it at someone. And that's when it gets
also
scary.
Psychological warfare, if you ask me.
Yeah, because the way they're thinking is that if they use children, you're less likely to shoot at the child.
Yep.
But with
just that moment of hesitation. No.
With that child, they'll shoot at you right away. So it's either take them out or you're done.
Yeah, and
that's the issue.
In these scenarios, it's not even just you're done. It's take out this one child and continue on, or let this child take out a group of 5 to 20 soldiers, people who are your brethren, because y'all are all within the military, and these are people you hang out with year round, 24/7, and it's at that point in time a no-brainer. But it's not necessarily the act of killing the child that torments people. It's the thought process that comes afterwards.
Yeah.
Once they've had time to actually reflect on it and realize what they've done, it's what normally fucks people up.
That's part of the training, isn't it? To shoot without thinking, and then you don't actually get to think about it until later, or until you get home.
No, until you're put in the actual situation.
Yeah. Whenever
I mean, you're trained to shoot without thinking, and then you get home and you think about what you've done without thinking afterwards, and then oh shit, what have I?
No, that's where it comes in.
Yeah, see, during basic, that's what we're trained to do firsthand. There's like, among other small jobs, when you're going through basic, there's 2 things that you're trained most in. The first one is, of course, to be a rifleman. You are trained to be able to shooting coming as second nature. It's just as easy as breathing. The second thing is combat medic. Everyone is trained basic stuff. You have actual combat medics that go into further training for that, but you learn all the basic stuff to be able to get someone to survive long enough to get them to the actual doctors. And so those are the 2 basic skill sets during basic training that you're taught. Everything, there's other small minor things like basic combatives and all sorts of other different things, which all have to do with being able to fight one-on-one with the enemy in case the enemy is that close range, and you can't just sit there and fire. Or if you lose the weapon. Yeah. And in basic, it's just basic stuff. It's like not even actual, not the actual combatives. It's just kind of like an intro into combative. And so it's all of it's just kind of like, the rest of it is kind of minor stuff that they train you in. But the first two, the very first one, of course, is always going to be riflemen, because you have to, no matter who you are within the military, you have to be able to pick up that rifle and fire it downrange. And that, so whenever people, because I've had a lot of people say that killing someone must be the hardest thing. It's like, no, that's actually very easy. It's just living with yourself afterwards that kills you.
Yeah, I don't think I could live with myself if I took a life like that.
No. I doubt very many. There are very few people, I would wager, that can. There are some people that can kill someone and be perfectly fine with it.
Those are
like they've already compartmentalized it in their brain. That
those are psychos.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily. Some of these people are the people who aren't psychotic. Some of these people just compartmentalized it to the point to where they put it in that box and don't think about it. I had to do this to make sure I went home to my family.
Yeah. I'm militarily speaking, I can understand that, but just regular society, no, you're going out killing people. There's something wrong with it. I mean, there are very few things that would make me want to kill someone, and that's if somebody killed one of my family members or something like that, But other than that, I don't even know if I could do it even then. I'd probably hurt them really bad, but I don't know if I could actually take a life. I don't know. I have never been put in a situation where I needed to, because I'm pretty quick with my thumbs and I can pop people's eyeballs out, and then, like I always say, they're staring at you with one eyeball and you at the other one, the fight's over.
And here I was just thinking that Canadians were nice.
It's okay. He does it politely.
Look, what he does is after he does it, he goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry about that."
I was a bouncer, and I had to do that a couple of times as people would come at me with weaponry.
Pop somebody's eyeball out?
Well, you put your thumb here and you push, and the eyeball just pops right out. It's easy.
Really? But why is that your go-to?
Well, that way the fight ends. The fight ends right there. So there's no fight.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. But can't you kick them in the nuts or something without popping out there?
No, no.
That's really horrible.
You get him a little glass of tepid water. You put the eyeball in there, and luckily for one guy who came at me one time, there was already an ambulance in the parking lot at the grocery store next to there. So I just kind of waved him over, and they're like, "What the fuck going on?" That's why I popped his eye out. He's like, "Okay."
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's the guy that came back to me afterwards and said, "Dude, I feel so bad. Don't ever do that to me again, because that hurt like fuck." I didn't even feel it when you popped it out, but it hurt like fuck when they put it back in.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I was going to say I can't imagine it, but I can imagine it, and that's what's disturbing me. So I honestly, I never ever thought that meeting Canadians outside of the strip club, maybe they weren't quite what I had done. Wrong impression.
Now you're wondering which one of those could have popped out someone's eyeball.
Yeah.
I don't even like anything related to eyes in fiction or in films and stuff like that. So I always kind of come into these thinking, is Neil going to tell the eye story again?
No. See, I have a very big aversion of things being near eyeballs.
Yeah.
So I made the mistake of letting my wife know this, and she repeatedly kept sending me pictures on Messenger of things in eyeballs and things near eyeballs, and I'm like, "Are you freaking kidding me? Stop it, woman!"
I don't know if Orla's still in the chat, but I'm sure she'll have some eyeball-related imagery to send me later on, like she does whenever this comes up.
A doorknob head that's trying to rekindle the pineapple on pizza debate.
Well, don't.
It's not going to work, buddy. Besides, when I order pizza and one of them's a Hawaiian, you don't have to eat it.
It
Right?
doesn't belong there.
Was that Aaron?
Oh, that was my favorite when I was a kid. Yeah, I never thought it was weird.
No, Hawaiian. I love them.
Yeah.
That's because you're both antichrists.
I haven't.
Oh, shut it down. Duke's arrived.
No. I saw him in the chat. I saw him in the chat, and I was kind of hoping he'd pop in. But you're at work right now, aren't you?
I am, so I can't. I have to be super quiet, and I can only stay for a couple minutes. But I just want to drop in and say hi.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Hey, Dukey boy.
This is unusual. It's stealth Duke.
Stealth.
I know, right? Normally, I'm loud, obnoxious, freaking cunt Duke.
Yeah, that's the Duke we've all come to love. It's okay.
Well, thank you, Duke, for introducing me to Neil. So this is
It's my pleasure.
YouTube. It's still super weird. It's been like 2 hours.
yeah, but it's been fun, right? I mean,
It has been fun. My editor also wanted me to do a YouTube channel and all that stuff, and that's actually why I watched your video in the first place. You were just somebody that popped up, and I don't know.
I do that.
Look for you, yeah. That's okay. I'm experienced in pop-ups, but I watched a few videos. I met Thomas Westbrook. He did a little speaking thing out here at the Reason Center in Sacramento. Just like super briefly. It was right after the thing, and he was super tired. I think I'm going to see him again at Free Thought Day here in Sacramento. I think he's on. I'm on the authors panel too, so that'll be fun.
He mentioned to be there.
So I'm here because of you, I guess.
It's all Duke's fault.
It's all your fault, Duke.
Listen, everything is my fault. I've come to live with that by now.
Yeah. You get to...
Neil's never going to be monetized. That's my fault.
You get to hang out name for a while. Oh, sorry, Badger.
No, you go on.
I was just asking Duke. Did you use that as your Twitter name for a while?
Duke, no monetization bonanza.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm just here being a laggy boy and being about half a second delayed so that I can never get into the conversation.
Well, we just let you in there.
Oh, thank you very much.
Your one chance, buddy. One chance.
Listen,
well, I'm here then.
Get on the other side of the wardrobe and it won't be a problem, Badger.
Have you tried giving a reception on the other side of the wardrobe?
We all know that Narnia has terrible Wi-Fi.
It's not the Wi-Fi that's the problem, it's the broadband.
The broadband. Oh, yes. Too many of your kindred are on the same broadband as you. Is that what you're saying? They're sucking up all the
It's bloody Tumnus downloading all this weird pornography is the problem.
Write a letter to Aslan.
There you go. and Badger, send me copies of the porn. Thanks.
You sure?
Hey man, I'm down to try anything once.
All right.
So I'm at the hospital getting the beads removed. Okay, that's not actually mine. It belongs to somebody else. But
since y'all brought up Narnia and all that stuff, I read the books and I liked them and all, but the Christian within it, the Christianity within it, is very, very cringy.
I can only imagine.
Like there's one like the last book. There's one part where he's telling the kids that in your world I go by a different name, and I'm like, oh my god, that's just stop it.
Well, I mean, if you get right down to it, I had to read. I had a friend of mine that wanted to debate me on why he wanted to debate me on why it was not reasonable for God to just automatically forgive everybody, right? And so he told me that I needed to read The Great Divorce, And I've read Mere Christianity like 3 times. I read The Great Divorce twice. And the one thing I can say about them is they are so dreary and they're so filled with contempt for humanity that it's just like, I just can't get through them without cringing the entire way through. And I don't understand why people think that he's such a fantastic writer. I just don't agree.
Yeah, I mean, I like the books for the fantasy aspects of them, but other than that, it's just like all the religious undertones in it are just like, at points you don't even realize it, like in certain books. But then you have other books that it's just like they're not even undertones. It's like completely and utterly overt. Like you realize you're just like, yeah, we get the fact that this is what you're trying to do here. We understand that, and it's just like, please, just stop. Just stop.
I was going to say, I guess they're getting a little brazen with it.
I see what you did there, Neil.
Good night, folks. I'll be on back again at 11.
Tip your damn waitresses. Honestly, though,
I think I might have to sign out. I gotta move on with my evening. It's right around dinner time right now. So,
yes, it is 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, Aaron, thanks for hanging out with us, man. It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me. This was pretty cool. So,
And I'm
Good hang out with all these weird characters in the after party.
yeah, definitely.
Right.
That's what makes the whole world that much better. So there's all less weird characters in it.
Well, hopefully I talk to you soon, and I was thinking about if you were ever in Northern California, come hit me up, and then we start talking about popping up eyeballs. So you might have to
may have to put that one on hold there.
Yeah, maybe. Hang on.
Well,
that's beyond your level of kink.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, Jim. Anyway, are you thinking maybe you might be able to hit the Faithless Forum this year?
Where is that?
Usually it's in Texas.
Okay, I'm going to Wisconsin for the FFRF convention.
Well, this isn't until April, so you got to wait.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. Honestly, I just started this new job, and I'm still I'm going through withdrawals from my old job, to be totally honest.
Right.
So, I'm just gonna start flashing random strangers. Look at me over here. I have daddy issues. Somebody clap for me.
Neil's probably not getting monetized anyway, so it's not too much of an issue.
I'm not getting monetized apparently, but
it's because of all of the who sucked. It's because of all of the who sucked all the titty jokes that I throw out there all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say I didn't make any of those. I didn't think. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. It really depends. I'm kind of hoping that my book picks up steam, and I keep invited. But right now, somebody's got to pay me to go. Huh?
What is the book called again, by the way?
My newest book is here. I got it right here because I was going to put on that thing.
Ooh.
It's called
Expose Yourself.
Yeah.
I like the picture.
Thank you. My editor took it, so it's kind of a weird thing. Yeah, no, you can get it on my website. I'm kind of hoping that I might be able to find some other places and not actually have to work a real job for too long, but that's kind of what it's looking like. So
yeah, I hear you. Well, I know the folks involved with the Faithless Forum, so I could possibly put a bug in their ear to have you as a speaker.
Okay, that would be excellent. That's actually what my editor's working on. She's right in the middle of getting her pilot's license. Mm-hmm. So all of her media stuff and all that just kind of cooled off. And I'm letting her alone because I want her to land safely.
I'm thinking here now. It's not till April, usually towards the end of April. So if she's getting her pilot's license, maybe
she'll be done. Yeah.
I could be drive down to your place and we could jump in her plane and just go to Texas from there.
Yeah, I don't know. She's already offered to take me up in her plane. I'm not really.
Oh.
It's on Amazon as well.
Huh?
On Amazon as well.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm all over the place. So yeah, I don't know. I kind of don't know where this is going to take me. I wasn't expecting last year to have somebody tell me to write another book, and then we've been really working on it. And this is the first time I've actually ever publicized anything. And so
Very cool. Well, I wish you all the success with that.
Thank you, and absolutely stay in touch. You know.
Oh, you bet. I will definitely let you know, because I'll put the bug in the ear of the boys, or the folks in general that deal with the Faithless Forum, because I'm sort of in the group with them now. So.
Okay. Well, they might actually be on her list to contact, but what I'll do is I'll get your personal information and I'll send you, I'll send you a couple of freebies. So.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, great. I'll, for sure. In the message, I'll send you something.
Thanks again. I'm going to go ahead and click on out of here if I can figure it out.
Yeah, you just put over your picture and it'll say remove from stream. Or I can click you out if you want.
No, I got it. All right.
Yep.
Good night.
Right. Thanks, Aaron.
Bye.
All right, so you guys could definitely go check out her Twitter and give her a follow, because she's really, really cool. As Duke already knows that, because he's been following her for a while and took two of us up. And definitely check out her website, because anything that she's done is available through her website. Okay, so go give that a look. And apparently, I'm going to be buying a couple of her books too now. So
I listened to the audio version of Dirty Money, and it's actually really good.
That's what I heard. Yeah. Yeah, I like the name of that book too, Dirty Money.
I know, right? Hey, listen, guys, love you guys, but I'm going to check out. It's good to talk to you.
All right,
dude. And now there's just the three of us.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there were three. I clicked a girl. I clicked a girl and I liked it. Oh, what?
I have no idea what that means. I'm not even looking at the chat right now.
Oh.
They could be saying all kinds of horrible things about me, and
I was
probably all of them.
Chat.
Probably all of them are true.
How'd you know? Shit, dude.
Oh, because that's the only thing that's ever gets told about me.
Bullshit.
Horrible things.
No. I have yet to meet anyone who has this. Well, there's a few people that don't like you, but they're usually the people that you are arguing against with on Twitter.
I don't even like you.
Yes. All the ones that there's quite a few people who I argue with on Twitter that absolutely just don't like me, and I'm like, that's cool. I'm not here to be your friend.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not going to argue with you. You can sit there and tell me, you're just a shit human being. I'm like, okay, that doesn't negate my argument, but okay, guy.
Whatever you say, chap.
Okay, guy. Okay, guy.
Okay, guy. Okay, guy. That's cute. Your opinion means the world to me. So please keep going on with what you think about me.
Yeah.
While I'm over here just shoving food in my face and not even paying you not even giving you my entire attention.
I've been having a great time on Twitter lately. Everybody's dickheads.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking for some fucks to give.
Yeah. There's a song that I absolutely love that's called I Have No More Fucks to Give.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking hilarious song where the guy, he talks about how he just can't for some reason seem to care about anything, and then it goes off into the chorus, and each chorus is different, but it always starts off with "I have no more fucks to give," and it gives. There's one part where he sits there and says, "I've rallied my fuck army, and they've all been fucking defeated," and it just. There's then the last chorus he does is there's one part where he says, all my fucks have come completely around and have gone and fucked off again, or something like that. I was like, yes, I love it.
There's a rumor I've heard about Mr. Frustrated about you. This has just come in. Apparently, you store Cheetos in a sock in the glove compartment of your car.
I have a what?
Well, Doorknob Head in the chat says apparently you store Cheetos in a sock in the glove compartment of your car.
Yeah,
look,
the fun
Cheeto.
fact that you usually do, Russ, but
look, Cheeto, look here, Doorknob Head. Whatever I have in my glove compartment is completely everyone's business because yes, I do have Cheetos in a sock in a glove compartment.
I like the other one here. Fun fact: Frustrated Atheist stores his belly button fuzz in a jar. And the other one's Frustrated Atheist is more frustrated than atheist.
Oh.
That last one I think is definitely true.
What's the last one?
He already admitted it.
He's more frustrated than atheist.
Yes. Well, the thing is all fun facts are usually done by me, but when they're done about me, I will go ahead and give every single fun fact canon.
It's now part of the Russ timeline.
Do your work.
If it's not true, you'll start doing it.
Yeah, exactly. If it's not true, it's becoming true today, like immediately. This is amazing. This is the first time I've been on the receiving end of fun facts.
They don't seem to do them so much about me anymore.
You what?
They don't seem to do them so much about me anymore.
Well, do a live stream and I'll do fun facts about you.
Suppose they went through all the various different animals, saying, "Oh, I heard that bad-tempered badger is actually a weasel." I think they ran out of animals.
They're spreading rumors, buddy. Spreading rumors.
Well, I was frustrated goose for a while.
Well, fun fact: Neil still hasn't joined his own Discord.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't even know it was ready. Oh, Sassy, I'll talk to you later, sweetie. Sassy and I figured we're going to die alone.
So, Badger, you know how I became frustrated goose for a while, right?
I have heard something about this, yeah.
Well, for a while I was frustrated goose, and my picture was of a white duck with arms that said, "From now on, I don't care what it is, it's a goose." But so I was frustrated goose for a while because Secular at the time he had tagged my name in something, and I was like, "What is this?" So I looked at it and it said, "The secret's out now. Frustrated Atheist is actually a goose." So I was like, "All right." And so I said that I was actually a turtle.
Duck icon for so long?
Yes. And I said that he was a turtle, and so he changed his name to Turkular. And so
I remember that.
Yeah, so we were Frustrated Goose and Turkular for a little bit.
I was thinking of changing my my avatar to this for a while.
You should totally do that.
That would be funny.
It's just that one time that Harrison Ford accidentally punched Ryan Gosling right in the face.
Yeah, but the looks of both of their fucking faces are priceless. Both of them look like they're saying, "Holy shit." Like Ryan saying, "Holy shit, he actually hit me," and Harrison Ford saying, "Holy shit, I actually hit him."
It's Harrison Ford just like, "Oh," and Ryan Gosling like, "Oh."
Didn't Harrison have to go get ice put on his hand or some shit?
Okay, they brought ice to put on Ryan Gosling's face, and Harrison Ford just elbowed everyone out of the way and put his fist in it.
That's the story.
The thing is Ryan Gosling's face is more like, for an old man, that punch was actually pretty good.
Well,
I'm sure Gosling felt the same.
I watched an interview with him about that incident, and the way he describes it is that Harrison Ford, when he throws it like a film punch, he draws his fist way back. It's like he's doing the shot put. His fist is like offset. And then it comes in, and it comes in with such momentum because of the distance it travels. But if it hits, then you fucked. That's it. You're done for.
The thing is that I've always thought that if I was ever a movie star and I became an action star, I don't know if I could actually throw punches at somebody, only because I would be the person who, because my depth perception isn't the best as is. So I'd be the person that either is way too far off to where it's obvious that I didn't hit the person or be hitting the person right in the face every time. I'd be like, I'm so sorry.
I think that's what happened in that scene. Is if you watch the scene in the film, it's in like this poorly lit bar in an abandoned hotel, and that there's flashing lights everywhere, and there's like laser effects and things going on. And basically, Harrison Ford couldn't see shit, so he just punched Ryan Gosling in the face. I think he tripped on something on the floor as well. I think, if I'm remembering this correctly, there was some floor obstructions and lights flashing everywhere, and just the distance got thrown off, and he just punched him right in the chops.
Nice. That's not how Braille works, Harrison.
One of my favorite Harrison Ford clips is I forgot what magician came over to his house, but he was doing a magic trick for him. Once he shows him where the card was, he sits there and looks at it. He's like, "Get the fuck out of my house." That was it. That was his only reaction. It wasn't even like, "What the hell?" type of. It was so monotone. He was just like, "Get the fuck out of my house." It was like, oh my.
That's how Harrison Ford does things. He's just
everything's monotone.
What was that thing when that guy Borat, the guy who did Borat? What was the film he did after? What was the thing he did after Borat?
Oh,
was it Talladega Nights?
No, the thing like Borat that he did after Borat.
The dictator.
Bruno.
Yeah, Bruno.
Bruno. Yeah.
I think it's an outtake from that. I'm not even sure if it's an outtake or if it's in the actual thing where he tried to interview Harrison Ford.
Bad-tempered Harrison.
And he runs up to Harrison Ford. Now we have an exclusive interview with Harrison Ford, and he runs over like Harrison, and Harrison Ford's like, "Fuck off."
Oh
just
man!
Like one of those, just like the scene from fucking X-Men First Class. When they go to try to recruit Logan, and he's just like, "Fuck off," and they're like, "Okay, we will definitely fuck off now because you said that." So goodbye.
He runs up to him in the street with a microphone, and he's just Harrison, and he just looks around, just fuck off, and keeps walking. It's brilliant.
I would too if I was Harrison. I mean, how many times did that happen to the poor guy? I had a friend that worked at a 5-star hotel here, and Harrison apparently stayed there one time. And he was saying when he was concierge that Harrison was actually the nicest fucking guy. He said the one person.
I can believe that, yeah. Yeah,
he said he was actually super, super cool. And Sean Connery apparently was super cool too. But the one person he said you didn't want to meet if she was, especially if it was a bad day and she was in a bad mood, was Susan Sarandon. She's like, apparently she's got quite the holier than thou attitude. And her husband at the time was Tim Robbins, is that his name? Anyway.
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
The guy from the prison movie.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
Tim Robbins. Oh. And he was apologizing for her everywhere she went, apparently.
My biology teacher, whenever I was in high school, he actually went backstage and was able to meet Toby Keith, the country music singer.
Yeah.
And he said, he's like, I went and met him. I was like, and somebody asked him, what was he like? He was like, he was an asshole. And it was like, what? Because, he does all these different things where it's like a lot of the times it's about the troops or whatever. And you think, oh, this guy must be a really nice guy. It's like, no, he's an asshole. He had this arrogant way about him that he just was completely and utterly standoffish. And people picked up on him when they were backstage. And he was like, yeah, he was a complete and utter asshole to it.
Okay.
So it's like, oh.
Well, if we're talking about meeting well-known people who are not assholes, I met the voice of Duke Nukem, and he was a really nice chap.
Voice of Duke Nukem? Yeah. That's one you tell the grandkids, right? Fucking there.
I met the voice of fucking Duke Nukem at a convention.
So the guys who do Hannibal Monty shit show, right?
Mm-hmm.
They actually on one of their episodes had the guy who was the voice Frylock from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah, he's done many voices, dude.
Yeah, and he's attributed many voices to a lot of different cartoons and whatnot. But he's, the guy seemed like a pretty cool guy, from what I could tell. I mean, like, I mean, of course, I wasn't talking to him or anything, but I mean, from what I saw of the show, he was a pretty damn good guy.
Yeah, but
who does he voice in the show?
Do what?
Who's he voice in the show?
Frylock.
Frylock.
I'm guessing that's the guy that is Fries.
Yes.
Yeah, the French fries.
Okay.
Because he's not Meatwad or Shake. So
yeah. I'm with you.
Okay. the fucking movie that they released was epic.
I've never seen the movie.
What?
Yes, okay. I've never seen the movie. I've seen
Ross, hang on. I have the DVD somewhere. Can you watch DVDs?
Yeah, I can watch DVDs.
Okay, I'll fucking mail that shit to you. Oh yeah, here we go. I'll mail that shit to you, and then you can give it back to me at Faithless Forum.
He's going to mail it to me, and it's going to arrive the day before Faithless Forum. Like hours before we're all supposed to meet up at Faithless Forum. It's going to come, and I'm be like, yeah, here's your DVD. I didn't get to watch it, but here it is. For anybody now who is out of the loop of this joke was Neil had the very first time I came on was the very first interview that he ever did, and
yeah, but I've been for that.
Yeah, we've been in several hangouts and been talking before that, but the very first interview he did with me, and I told him how much of a big Batman and Ninja Turtle fans I am, and he said that he had the comic book of the crossovers, and I was like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah. He's like, give me your information after the show, and I will send them to you by mail. I was like, okay, that's cool. Nice. I did it. So I did it, and weeks go by, and nothing's happened. But I'm like, this is coming from Canada. I live all the way down in Texas. I'm not going to expect it to be here, like, within 24 hours or anything. Yeah, so I'm like, it's not that big of a deal. Months go by, and I'm like, what the fuck? And several months go by, and he finally sends me a message saying, oh, hey, sorry about that, but I linked them to a friend before sending them to you. And I was like, okay, that's not a problem. He then says, oh, by the way, I could give them to you at Faithless Forum. I was like, okay, if I make it there. And he's like, okay, if not, I'll just send them to you. Months later, he then finally sends them to me. And it's like, yay, after almost a fucking year of you saying, hey, I'm going to send it to you, you finally sent them to me. Thank you.
Yeah, well, you're welcome. I know it took a while.
Yeah, actually, I've moved. I've moved now since then, so I will have to give you the new address.
You moved to Canada, so you can actually send you some stuff.
I know, right?
Well, no, I'm just. Did they kick you out of there because they weren't Batman fans or Turtles?
No, as a matter of fact, the people who owned the place was my aunt and uncle. What happened was my stepson was coming to live with us permanently because he was living with his father's parents, and so he was moving in with us permanently, and we just needed a bigger place because it's a 1-bedroom, and so we moved to a 2-bedroom, so that way he had his own room because a 13-year-old boy doesn't need to be sleeping in the living room.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, probably not. So we moved over to a couple towns over to where we found a affordable an apartment. So we were like, okay, we'll take this.
Is it better than where you were?
I mean, in a way, I guess. We went from living in a duplex to an apartment, so it sucks that we have so many people around us. but especially the neighbor below us, she's a complete and utter bitch. But she's a passive aggressive about it at first, and now she's still being very passive aggressive, but being a little bit more aggressive about her passive aggressiveness. And she likes to mean mug both my wife and son, and it's like you're being very, very, like, she'll slam cabinet doors and stuff so much that we can hear them. She'll bang on her ceiling, which is our floor. So it's like, and she does all these different things. The day that my son got his bedroom set, because my wife's mother.
Whoa, what did you get?
He got just a bed, a platform bed, and a dresser.
I know, but like, did you get him like cool bed sheets and shit, or?
Oh no, we didn't. No, it just was. It was just the.
Like, if you look at my bed sheets, right? Look at that shit right there.
Oh, that's awesome. But no, we didn't get him like sheets and stuff like that. Her mother just bought the bed itself and the dresser,
Right.
which is actually still pretty nice. And but anyways, so when they were moving that stuff in, like, she came up apparently from downstairs up to our apartment. I was at work at the time, but apparently she came up there and was like, "Can I know what's going on around here?" And my wife's like, "They're moving stuff into the apartment." Like, clearly there's boxes being moved in and whatnot. It's like, really? What the fuck? What the fuck do you think we're doing? We're having a party with boxes because fuck it. I don't know. Like, this woman is so passive aggressive that the one time she's only confronted me once, and it was a few weeks ago, and she's never said shit again to me. But she tried to tell me that she's like, something has to be done about your dog. I'm like, what do you mean? She said, they're barking all throughout the night. And I was like, no, that's not my dogs at all. I was like, my dogs were absolutely quiet because if they were to bark, since their kennel is in our room, we would know about it. And she's like, they're running back and forth all throughout the night. I was like, no, because they're usually in their kennel at night. And she's like, well, the running back and forth happened at like 8, 9 o'clock. And I was like, yeah, they're in their kennel by 8 o'clock. And she's like, well, something has to be done about this. I was like, done about what? Them doing absolutely nothing? What the fuck am I going to do? Go to my dogs? How dare you do nothing at all? Like, the fuck is this? And after that, she has not, because I'm guessing because I stood my ground, she has not said anything to me. Except for maybe hello whenever I walk by. And that's only because I've said hello. She doesn't say anything to me to initiate any kind of conversation. It's like the fuck? You live in a fucking apartment complex. You decide to live on the bottom fucking floor. What the fuck do you think is gonna happen? Like, seriously?
Is this the person who like runs the place?
No.
Oh.
She is just a renter, and she's a fucking hoarder because every time she opens her door, it's cluttered with shit. And it's like, God damn, that's got to be a fucking health violation or some shit. But she like this. It's like, really. It's like there, like, even she even tried to bring up my dogs to the manager of the apartment complex. And the manager, whenever I went in there one day to get, I think, one of the keys or something like that, she was like, hey, and she brought that up, and I was like, and she was like, all I kept thinking was, you live in an apartment complex, you risk the chance of people owning dogs around you? I mean,
we're allowed dogs in this one, which is really rare for where I live.
Yeah, do what?
we're allowed to have dogs in the complex that I live in, which is really, really
Mhm.
rare for where I live. Most places
and-
don't take pets.
Yeah, there's some places around here that also don't take pets. Like the pets that you can have, like, it has to be approved by the apartment complex itself. Like you can't. There's a lot of places that you can't have birds, you can't have cats,
Right.
you can't have all sorts
Can't
of
have
different
dogs. Can't have.
Y'all telling me a cat
exotic.
move in with my pet gator?
things. No, you
Come
cannot
on,
move in with
Percy.
your pet gator.
We're going somewhere else. I call him Percy because eventually he's going to be somebody's purse. But
Exactly. But so this place is actually fairly awesome because what they did was the pet deposit, they didn't charge it by pet, they charged it by household, and
Right.
along with the pet rent that they charge additionally is also done by apartment, not by pet. And so it was like, that's awesome, because other places they were charging pet deposits of, you know, X amount, and the pet rent was per pet, and it was like, the fuck. And so, and at the time we had 3 dogs and a cat and a hedgehog. Now we have 3 dogs, 2 cats, a hedgehog, and 2 guinea
your
pigs.
dogs are fucking adorable.
Yes, mine's very antisocial, and I love it. But
Why?
That'd be a good channel
Why?
name,
Because-
Anti-Social Hedgehog.
right, I'll just take your name and be Bad Tempered Hedgehog.
Sure, Badger. He's got to stick together with his fellow garden mammals apparently.
Right. But yeah, we have 3 dogs, 2 cats, a hedgehog, and 2 guinea pigs. So we've
Cool.
amassed a menagerie at the house.
Going down
I've
to
got
Russ's
some-
Zoo.
I got some friends
Yes.
of mine actually who have an excellent collection of pets. That they seem, but they've got less of them now. But when I first met them, they had some guinea pigs, a very large tarantula, and a snake.
I had
And here's the issue: at least 2 of the people in that household have both phobia of spiders and snakes.
Oh wow!
So I don't know how they ended up in this situation where
They sleep like this.
where they've got both a massive tarantula and snakes. But so basically, they had this spider that lived in this little spider box, and
Your box.
this is my mate Dave. I've mentioned Dave before. See, Dave has the arachnophobia, and for years he had a tarantula as well that lived in his bedroom. So
My roommate got over her arachnophobia when she dated a guy who owned a tarantula.
oh, Dave didn't. Dave did not.
You're trying to tell me my ex-girlfriend, now my roommate, has bigger balls than Dave?
I'm not getting into that. But you see, the thing with this, eventually they found somebody who, to give the spider to, and they, the guy came round, and as soon as he came round, they got the spider out. The spider was crawling all over him. They're like, "Yeah, this guy can have the spider. He's clearly a spider-liking person." Unfortunately, I went round to the house once after the spider had gone, and I looked at the back of the snake habitat and kind of went, "Is this pipe supposed to be open like
I thought you were going to say you were going to make a nest there or something for yourself.
No. No, I looked at the back of the snake habitat and just kind of, is this pipe supposed to be open? And they went, "Oh shit!" And about 3 months later, because it was not their snake, they were looking after this snake for someone else, and they'd been doing that for like 2 years because his dickhead never came to pick up his snake. So,
snake in 2 years. I'm sorry.
so like 3 months after that, they went, "Oh, the snake showed up."
In a suit.
Where was the snake? He'd been under,
for some reason.
He'd been under one of the kitchen cabinets or something. They'd left some food on the kitchen floor, and he'd come
Wait a
out.
minute.
And
Wait, Badger. They found him in a kitchen cupboard.
Yeah, they found him under one of the kitchen cupboards.
Was he just waiting for tea time?
So he was just hanging out. He was just snaking around in there.
Just hanging out in the closet, in the cupboard.
Yeah,
Like-
and then
He's looking at the humans as they pass by. Hey guys, you want to drop me some food real quick? No?
Yeah.
Okay.
They got him out eventually by leaving some food on the floor. And then he came out and they kind of got ya! And they snuck him back in the tank.
Leaving some food out. You mean they caught one of the mouse in the traps and let it run around?
Oh Lord.
You put a Snicker
funny.
down, I'm pretty sure a snake's not coming out for a Snickers.
I don't know if he was actually big enough to eat a mouse.
Oh.
I mean, he probably could have, but he'd have had to proper unhinge his jaw.
It's funny
If you
because
get
here in
hangry, it could turn into a hydra.
Texas- there you go.
Hello, by the way. I'm just
we don't
waffling
need
away.
that.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, welcome to the
But-
chat, Adelina. Guys, she's also known as Fan of All Weirds on Twitter if you want to give her a follow.
Oh, that's alright. I am weird.
Yes.
She's known as what?
So she's obviously a fan of yours then, Bad. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. My Twitter is fan of all weirds.
Oh,
By the way, I noticed nobody's commented on this picture yet.
I saw it and I'm like, it kind of looks familiar. I'm just not sure from where.
oh, I know what it's from. I'm
problem?
just not going to spoil it for anybody.
Maybe if I say, just give me the cash.
yeah, I have no idea.
Well, I was just going through my random picture folder, and this was in there. So I thought, well, that's going to be the thing for a bit.
Ooh.
And I've just found another one that's now going to be the thing.
Oh,
One second.
sweet. Here we go. Oh, wait, it's not that one I sent to you with me naked in the vat of grapes, is it?
No, that's later.
Oh, okay.
Hedonism bot.
Yeah,
we
sure,
go.
why not? Oh, Caddyshack. Oh, sorry.
It may, what Neil meant to say was it may or may not be Caddyshack.
Works for me. But after
Well, we're waiting.
yeah, that's the best. Look, man, that was like one of my favorite movies. That one and Bad,
Oh, I should have done you.
the
Put it back
original
in.
Bad News Bears.
Although with the remake, when they got Billy Bob Thornton to play the
Shut up, Russ.
I
The
gotta say
remake
that's
does
the
not
perfect.
exist in my world.
But look, they got a great actor, Billy Bob Thornton, to play the coach because
He's no Walter
he's
Matthau.
just fucking hilarious. He's
No,
fucking
fuck you.
hilarious.
Screw him. Fuck that.
I've got a load of pictures in here actually from when I was having like a Photoshop off with Notcher. So,
Oh god,
Wait. Say that
so
again.
this happened.
Photoshop. Oh god.
This is officially the best thing I have seen all day.
Oh my god, that's beautiful.
That's
Badger,
scary.
send
It's
that-
awesome.
Badger, send me that on Twitter.
I was
Send
going
me
to
that
say,
on Twitter.
yeah, Russ and I will pour the shit out of that all over
Oh
the
god, are you kidding me? I may have to use that as my profile picture for a bit. That's fucking amazing.
The most difficult bit of making this picture was trying to match the skin tone of the Notcher face and the Homer Simpson.
Dude, it doesn't even matter. It's fucking perfect. Like
It's
that.
fucking great.
I never even would have thought that. That's just fucking brilliant. And there you are, just down there in the corner. It's like, all right.
Just a cool little badger.
It's like your signature. Done.
Oh.
Badger. Insert picture.
I haven't looked in this folder for a while, so there's all kinds of shit in there.
Okay. Get ready. Put your seatbelts on. We're going for a picture ride.
There was somebody got a picture of that Sargon Vacad guy sitting, holding his arms funny.
Sargon.
So that became a Photoshop contest.
Oh lordy.
That was one that I
Oh
did.
no.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Wow.
Oh my god.
I think I have to pee again. Fuck off, Paula Gia. I don't care. Or he's in my live or some shit. Some pre. I'm gonna go bug the shit out of him after this, dude. You're interrupting my show. He's like, you still haven't invited me on. Yes, I have 3 times, motherfucker. You just haven't answered. Oh, forgot to buy the
merge the streams. Merge the streams.
Yeah. Oh no. He's probably premiering something. So it's probably
So?
Oh no, it'll be in the can, and he'll be in the chat watching. Everybody, right? No, Paul's good people. He's funny. What the?
Oh lordy.
Just
so you know this one?
So
the Globgo Gabgalan.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of.
Oh God, no.
I was wondering this earlier. So if you eat Tide Pods, does it get rid of skid marks from your underwear?
Well, presumably.
Actually, I think it would cause them because you void your bowels when you die.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, right. There was a fucking hilarious picture now where they got one of those little mini packets of Tide that you use it like a laundromat, the Tide liquid, little mini packs. He goes, oh look, Tide made juice boxes.
Juice boxes.
Yeah, I have it somewhere. I'll post it on Twitter or something. It's fucking funny. That was funny. Message you. Yeah, I know. I sent a link. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I guess you were watching this and didn't really pay attention.
Yeah. Plus, my Twitter didn't go off that I got the message. So I was like, I didn't think it got sent yet. So then I just checked it and there it was.
That's weird.
A picture from when I was. Oh, there he goes.
I think that's what that beep, 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 beep. I think something came through and then she got dumped.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. Is still there. Russ got dumped.
Yep. Yeah, you kicked him out. This is a picture from when I was arguing with Eve Kanainen on Twitter.
All right. Wait a second.
It says lack of evidence shooting belief in God. And underneath it says, why would you choose not to believe?
Well, let me direct the question right back at you.
Yeah. Oh, why would I choose not to believe? Because then I'm not stuck living my life as if I'm waiting for something better that I'm pretty damn sure isn't coming or isn't happening. That's why. Dad, how'd you get a picture of my dad?
Well, I'm a badger. I can do these things.
That's that fucking look he gives me every Saturday morning, too.
If you could get... hang on, let me see if I can move the... how do I...
I don't have any good pictures.
I want to move my name out the way because it's just the little "you okay" underneath the shark face.
I know, I love that picture.
Yeah, that's right. Your name's in the way, buddy. Fuck, what's going on?
Is that
I was trying to make you like the. No, it doesn't work. Never mind.
You can get it to work if you try and make me big, but I don't know how to do it without actually looking at it myself.
Now, which member of the family shark is that?
Oh, look at these guys.
What in the... And there's Lincoln sitting off in the background. What the fuck? What are those? Pinalosauruses? I don't know. What are they?
It's a duck-billed saurus.
It's I can't remember the name, but it's sort of a filter feeding dinosaur thing.
Filter. It runs around feeding filters.
Yeah, because they've got the long mouth for scooping up algae and stuff.
Is it related to the hammerhead?
It's just if you look at them directly from the front, it looks like somebody doing that face.
Yes, it does.
So that's why I saved that picture.
Looks like fucking Donald Duck or something right from the front.
Yeah, just doing the...
I'm sorry. These are carbonated. My fault.
These pictures are carbonated.
The drink he's drinking.
Yes. I thought you were mimicking my burps. Never mind. Apparently, I'm in a different stream.
No, get back to your stream.
General agreements.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly. Is there supposed to be something funny about this, or?
Yeah, look on top of his head.
What is it? Oh, is that Badger? Nah, there's a Badger on him. Okay, I see
Badger.
I don't even see it.
Okay, you see Joe Griffith?
Yes,
There you go.
Yeah, now I see it. I'm looking like way up on top, like not even on him, just above him.
You're just like, what? I don't see it there, guys.
Some sort of troop carrier there. I don't know what the hell yeah, but now I see because he's actually on your back. I've heard of monkey on your back, but I don't know about this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, you found an avatar with glowy ears. That's awesome.
I just took that of me.
Did you? That's awesome. I need headphones.
Oh, nice.
I got these cheap ass fucking Walmart fucking headphones, but you know.
I'm like, I couldn't find anything good because I have my tablet and it doesn't have any good pictures on it. And I like my phone, so I'm just like, I'll just take one.
There you go. Works. Fuck is this? You know what? I know what that is, and I'll tell you why I know what that is.
Oh God!
I live in an apartment building that's dog friendly, but they always say, clean up after your dog. So every now and again, I come home from work and I'll park out front because I'm usually going to take off right away again, and I'll come home, have my quick shower, and I'm walking across we're called the dockyards because basically the front of my building is like a bunch of planks of wood that you would go to a dock. And I walk into the front door, and in the trees on either side, there's little bags of dog poop hanging in them, just like that.
Now that picture is just, I was walking through the woods, and there's just dog shit in bags hanging from trees.
But was that fuck is this hanging there at the same time? Like, I don't.
Yeah, someone left that as well.
Someone stuck it. I got a caption for this fucker.
There's just dog shit hanging from all the trees. So I'm like, well, if you're gonna do that, why have you even fucking bagged it? Just leave it there. If you're not gonna take the shit away, don't put it in a bag. You're just making the situation worse. Yeah, you're taking a piece of shit that will just sit on the floor and fucking degrade for a little while. It'll biodegrade by itself, and then you put it in a bag so it won't biodegrade by itself, and it'll hang in that tree for thousands of years.
Doggy poop bags are biodegradable.
They're not if it's just in a black bin bag. It's not.
Okay, maybe not. Yeah, you got me. But it's like he's teasing the tree. Look, I'm going to put this fertilizer right here on you. Just let you hang in there,
so like
dangling a carrot.
Not so you can use it, but it's here.
Tree's like, fuck you, I can't even move, motherfucker.
Neil, you said.
Oh, here's a picture.
Neil, you said you have signs in your apartment or where you live that says "pick up after your dog." Well, we have the same signs at my apartment complex. No one picks up after their dog.
That's because they're not Canadian.
Yeah. Well, we're texting them. We're just like, "Fuck you, this is Texas." But which I will say,
fuck you wants,
which I'll say I do too because I don't pick up after my dogs ever. But
you shit on the lawn too, or you're going to say you don't pick your own up. But
no, but I'm sorry, the raccoon with the face.
What is that?
It's Raccoon Phoenix.
My buddy's dog would eat that thing. And now I'm hungry for some weird reason.
Don't you recognize Raccoon Phoenix?
Yes, no, I know. But
all this reminds me of is the people who who do the thing with Keanu Reeves' name.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where they'll sit there and say Keanu Reeves doing whatever, and it's like Keanu, and then just use whatever with his last name. That's what you did here with Queen Phoenix.
It's Raccoon Phoenix.
It's Raccoon Phoenix. Yes, I've seen this before, but it cracks me up every time I see it.
No, you need to put his face on a duck and say Joaquin Phoenix.
I might do that later on.
Oh my god, I love this.
It's not doing the thing. Just a second. Oh no, I can't place it there.
That's the Where Did I Park one?
Yeah.
It's just, oh my god.
Yeah, I love those.
I love Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah, it's classic.
Mm-hmm.
Reservoir Dogs.
It's been forever since I've seen Reservoir Dogs. I need to rewatch it.
I just watched Reservoir Dogs like 4 days ago. So yeah, it was awesome. It's always awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, it's weird. Ever since seeing the movie and then hearing the song "Stuck in the Middle with You" at like clubs and stuff, I never listen to that song the same way anymore.
Well, I mean, that's just like whenever you hear. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying it's because now all I can think of is the ear scene from that movie.
Yeah, I mean, but that's kind of like with the song "What Is Love, Baby Don't Hurt Me." Whenever you hear that, all you think of is Night at the Roxbury.
Yes. Yeah. What in the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's too small. I can't read it.
Stop right there, criminal scum.
How do I make
it's the Oblivion Guards, but
I'm trying to make him big.
There's nobody.
Try that.
I can't find it. That's you. You got to click the little thing above my icon. I think there's a little screen above. There's a little screen button above my icon in the bottom in the chat doodly. But we're close.
That's yeah.
There we go.
Stop right there in criminal scum.
Is that from Skyrim?
That's the game before Skyrim. That's from Oblivion.
Oh, okay.
It says nobody breaks the law on my watch. Now pay the fine or it's off to jail.
Oh, that's fucking funny.
One of my favorite things from Skyrim I ever did was I was because I was actually playing Skyrim town, and I was in this one specific town, and I kept doing my shouts as I was going to the town, and when I got to the town city limits, I shouted, and while I was in the middle of fighting something, and then after I was done fighting the thing, one of the guards that was fighting it with me turned around and hold up.
You okay?
Did we lose him?
I don't know. I can't actually find the right, there we go. Oh, Neil's gone as well. It's gonna be just me this week. I'll have to take over. Hello everyone. I'm climbing a small log here. So I hear you like the weirds.
Indeed I do. The weirder the better.
What weirds do I have in here? What is this? Oh, I suppose I got this.
Gratuitous crotch shot.
He's back.
Anyway, I didn't realize my bladder could hold that much.
You just hose down your house.
Thank you, God. That oh, we got Jesus people in the chat. Hang on.
Dude, what's this about? What's this about?
Let's see what we got. Thank you, God. I am that I am. Whatever. Oh, that's that's from the old Hebrew. It's a translation.
Okay.
No.
Circular disc, magnetically bound.
Realm for flat. So she's a Jesus or she.
Oh no.
Them, they. I don't know what it is. It just says Nana. All right, I'll bring you back in, Russ. Yeah, you're missing it.
I'm trying to access this thing.
My wife.
There it goes.
My wife had called me.
Huh? You're what?
My wife had called me, so I, had to mute y'all.
That's okay. That's all right.
Yeah. But what I was saying before I went off was that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Neil.
I was in the middle of reading some comments. We've got a Jesus believer in the chat, or a I don't know. Yeah. Of Jesus for flat Earth realm. Flat Earth realm. I don't know. Is that somewhere between Mordor and I can't remember the names of them. Anyway. Magnetically balanced between a toroid field and encased in a dome of God, which is aka the firmament, which we know isn't a thing. Above, so below. That comes from Wicca, so that's another thing. One,
above,
so below. Tekel. I don't know. Badger, hi, nice to meet you. Sending yourselves to hell. Please stop saying I'm living soul begins. Okay, I get it.
Hold on.
Nana, it's great that you've got your beliefs, but you're really in a stream like this, when one of my streams, you're really wasting your breath.
Hold on, I've got a question for this person.
Hang on, just let me finish.
No. Okay, go ahead.
Also, make me big a minute now.
Just I don't believe in hell. Hell was added at the Council of Nicaea to the biblical canon. There was no hell in the Old Testament. If you read through it, there was never a hell ever mentioned. The idea in Judaism, which is what I grew up in, the idea of a hell wasn't really a thing. It was more like you were either going to live with God in eternity once he on here on earth or whatever, or in the heavenly kingdom, which became here on earth at that point. And then,
or you were eternally separated from God,
or you're eternally separated. So it's like some form of purgatory. That's originally how it was. And Judaism actually was a polytheistic belief before they decided, because Yahweh, who was actually a brother of the god El, they were both one of 27 descendants of I can't remember. I think it's Shamash and somebody else. Anyways,
well, El was the creator god.
No. El was a brother of Yahweh. They actually combined the two eventually after years, and they became one entity. So El and Yahweh both became one entity, and that's where the creator thing came in.
Okay, because
Yahweh wanted El to kill the father, so that it would make a way for him to make it to the top.
Well, your knowledge may be a lot better than mine growing up in Judaism. I just know that from the cursory stuff that I've been looking, because I'm in the process of making a video about how Christianity is based on polytheistic belief system. What?
Not a fancy hell like this. It doesn't actually exist. And those recordings that apparently were done of hell were actually already, the people that did those recordings already said they were hoaxes. So it's not a big deal.
But so the cursory stuff that I've seen from what?
Let Russ finish, guys.
Yeah, the stuff that I've been looking up, they've all quite a bit of them have said that El was the creator god. Was that him teamed up with Asherah, gave birth to 70 different deities, and
was it 7 or 72?
From what I've heard, it said 70. It could be more than 70. Because with polytheism, gods always get added and subtracted and whatnot. So
it's been hundreds of them. So.
But from what, like I said, what I've read was that El and Asherah had given birth to 70 deities, including Dagon, which is the father of Baal, who later on somehow gets tied in with Asherah as well, other than El. And
the Canaanite Israelite pantheon.
Yeah. And so all these different pantheons are all kind of interblended together. So there probably is one section of canon within the pantheon where El is the creator god, and then in Judaism it could have been that El was not the creator god, but was, like you said, the brother of El, or a brother of Yahweh. But regardless, Yahweh was, as far as I can tell, he was a minor god. That's all he was. He was the god of metallurgy and war.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. But he wanted El to kill the father so that he could work his way up there.
Yeah, and as a matter of fact, in the Bible itself, it mentions how El was above Yahweh, anyways, because El hold on, I wrote it down. Give me a second. In Deuteronomy 32:8-9, it said that El had split up pretty much the land and given the gods each their inheritance, if you will, and Yahweh was given Jacob and all of his people as these are your people. This is what you get, if you will. So even in the Bible, it makes a distinction that in other places doesn't, the difference between El and Yahweh. Whereas when Moses came around, Yahweh introduced himself as El. And so
what?
Yeah. Whenever Moses, he...
That's not how it works.
Well,
where the hell did you find this?
Where did I find this? This was on, give me one second.
Yeah,
this
send me
was on.
I'd like to check that out.
Yeah, not a problem. This I got from, where is it? It's popping up. Give me a sec.
Well, hang on one second while you're searching.
Okay.
I want to address something. All movies have some truth exposed. So what was the truth in Toy Story?
It's the toys watch you while you sleep.
What was the truth?
That toys have souls. That's
right. What was the truth in Star Wars?
Until Disney came along, all of
it. Zing! Earth is a realm between heaven and hell. Sure, that came out of Norse mythology, actually. Like the Yggdrasil or whatever the fuck. Anyway, carry on there, frustrated.
Yeah, is this the one that has that specific? I'm trying to make sure that this is the because I have 3 different sources of different about this. So I need to make sure that this is the specific one.
Mangaroo.
Mangaroo. All right, I'm hungry again. Thanks for that, Beth. I've tried
I want a mango.
and I like mangoes. And kangaroo means
what else have I got there? Oh, another one from that Photoshop contest.
Well, Nana, it's nice that you dropped into. Oh, that's funny. It's nice that you dropped into my show. Thank you for showing up. I really, really hope that someday I'll be able to interview you on my show once you finally deconverted from the nonsense that you.
Neil, take your soul seriously.
No, I see that. I see that. And Nana, I'm sorry, I don't believe in souls. See,
just put my
a little story that I don't really tell a lot of people is I actually have died, and I was resuscitated, and I'm sorry, there's nothing really. Whatever you tend to see is, which I found out later, it's all in your head. It's all in your brain, and it's your brain's way of making your passing easier and more comfortable. So, I don't remember anything. It's like, let me ask Nana, do you remember what it was like before you were born? Because that's pretty much what it's going to return to. So my advice to people that believe, hopefully some of them are having doubts, but make sure that you know that this one life that you know that you get, that you make sure you do the best you can with it. All right. And for me, that's why I do my blood donations. That's why I do my charity work and stuff like that. There's no creator. There's no need for a creator.
All right.
It's not necessary. So, sorry, Nana.
I thought I better just put my. All right, there we go. Thought I better just put my official face back on. Just say, if you would like to have a discussion with an atheistic somebody about some of this, you could always come on my channel sometime, Mr. No, I'm assuming it's Mr. I am open to discussions with pretty much anyone as long as they'll discuss with me in good faith.
Yeah, I saw that. You were willing to even have Silverman on. Dude, I would stay the fuck away from him.
Yeah, I was meaning to ask you that in the chat, but I thought I'd better not ask you about that during the stream.
But right now, do you know what he was?
I'm gonna go back to putting funny pictures.
Yes, there are atheists, Nana. I'm one. What do you mean there's no such thing as atheists? There's 4 of us in a chat right now. I don't believe in deities. I chalk them all up to mythology. Because why would yours get a free pass and the hundreds of thousands that came before yours don't get a free pass? Like, I'll tell you what, if you can demonstrate that your God exists, I will consider worship. Although if he's the same as he's described in the books, then he's an asshole. So not really worth following. But if you can show me how you... Hang on. If you can show me how you disproved Odin or Hathor or Hecate or Bumba or any of the other gods that have ever been proposed by humanity, and there are many, whatever way you use to disprove those, I'll use the same method to disprove yours. All right? Sorry, go ahead.
So, yeah, so I was mistaken. He didn't call himself El to Moses, but he said that I appeared unto Abraham. This is in Exodus 6:3. I appeared unto Abraham, unto Isaac, and unto Jacob by the name of God Almighty, which was El Elon. But by my name Jehovah was I not known to them, which is the way that Yahweh ties himself into El. Is that he said that he was the one who appeared to these people as El, as a way to kind of cancel out El being worshipped by other people.
Well, that's why you have like the word Israel. There's your El in the Israel. You get Elohim. There's all kinds of ties back to the whole El and Jehovah, whatever.
Well, Elohim is just a pluralization of El.
Well,
according to what I've read. This is all what I've read. I mean, I don't know if ancient Hebrew is different from the Hebrew that you
there are some differences, yes, but modern Hebrew is very similar to ancient Hebrew anyways. There are some modifications, obviously, because languages evolve. So, there are modifications. Yeah, I do look around me, Nana, and I very much see the universe and the way it actually is. So I don't see any need for any deities.
Love the look at the trees argument.
Yeah, the look at the trees argument, yeah, which is a logical fallacy. But listen, Nana, we have explanations for where things came from. How it all started, we're still working on, right? But we don't. But you don't get to just inject a feely good answer because you don't have another one. It's far more intellectually honest to say I don't know than to inject some nonsense. All right. We'll do our best to know as much as we possibly can, but even in the entire history of the human race, I don't think we're going to know everything, and I don't think it's possible to know everything.
I personally, like a lot of people think that we'll know what happened, what caused everything to start, if you will. I personally don't think so. This is my own thoughts of it. is that I personally don't think that we would ever know exactly what happened. But at the same time, I don't think it's relevant. I don't think it's relevant to know what happened before everything got started.
Well, we don't know. You can't.
The fact that, yeah, I don't think that it's relevant to the fact that we are here and that everything did happen. So, right. That's just me personally. I don't think it's relevant to know. You can sit there and say, "Oh, well, we may know what's going to what happened beforehand," and for all I know, you may be right, but maybe one day. Well, the thing is it depends, because
how would you discover what's before the event?
Well, so we only recognize that that at the Big Bang was when time equals 0. You know.
Well, that's one of the hypotheses. Yeah,
it's one of the hypotheses. The thing is there's other hypotheses that describe the fact that there is the known universe, and then there's the cosmos, and everything within the known universe happened in this one instance, but the cosmos itself was before then, and things like that. And it's just all these things that people hypothesize. Now, for all I know, we'll be able to figure out. I don't know.
All right, give me 1 second. There's something he said there that I want to comment on.
Regardless if you can know what happened before the Big Bang, if you will.
So he says here that God is not a religion, not a man-made religion, not a political ideology. God is outside time, space, and matter. Now, my question to you there is, what is time that it's possible to be outside of it?
You can't exist. If you're outside of space, time, and matter, you can't exist.
Yeah.
In order for existence to be a thing, you need coordinates. Yeah. If you don't have coordinates, you don't exist.
Yeah, what actually is time if you're going to say that something exists outside of it? Is
we
time
have our way of measuring time.
Yeah, we can measure it, but what actually is it?
Can it be put in a bottle?
No. Well, parts of it could, I guess.
There's a song out of it.
I could put time in a bottle. Yeah, I know. He's Canadian. But yeah, no. If you can't exist outside of space and time, you require coordinates for the very existence. If you don't have any coordinates, you do not exist. It doesn't matter if God is not enslaved to coordinates. That's not what it's about. If you don't have coordinates in our universe, you don't exist. If you think he lives outside of our universe, then who gives a shit? Then he can't.
Okay, I'm sending thoughts and prayers.
Because he's not in our universe. So who cares? Give it up.
It's okay. Now. It's okay, Neil. I'm sending thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, I got one with the back of a truck that's loaded. Your first load of thoughts and prayers. Because prayer has actually been proven to be absolutely useless. It's no better than chance. So
is that there it is.
Oh, what happened? Frustrated?
I'm gonna go to my happy place. Give me a sec.
Well, if your God exists, Nana, why is your God allowing priests to rape children and doing nothing?
Yeah, I'm going to my happy place. Here we go.
God is in existence beyond human logic, then who cares? Who cares? He can interact with you if that's the case. So who cares? I won't find the light. I was a believer, Nana, and I gave up on the light because once I realized that it's all mythology, just like every other religion that has ever befallen mankind throughout history has proven to be a mythology, so is yours. You don't get special privilege just because it's the latest trend. All right? Sorry, you're God. All right?
There's some ducks.
He's an asshole because there are children being raped by people that allegedly speak for him. So if he can't come down here and go, hey, listen, I don't think this is a good idea, or if he's waiting in the shadows going, hey, I'm going to get you later for this, then your God is a moral piece of shit. Because I would step in if I saw a child being molested or hurt in some way. But your God can't do that, which makes me more moral than your piece of shit deity.
Neil, I've
So
got
I've had
some
a conversation.
calming ducks for you.
Oh yeah. Oh shit, he's getting worked up again.
Look at the ducks.
So
Just look at the ducks.
I've had a conversation.
The atheist one of look at the trees, look at the ducks. Sorry, Russ, go ahead.
So I've had a conversation about this with actually a person who was Muslim, and I asked them, about why does God give cancer to children, and their whole entire philosophy on this is the fact that God does these things to teach us a lesson and whatnot. I was like, okay,
You mean the
what
cop-out
lesson does
excuse?
a child? Of course. And I was like, okay, what lesson does a child need? If we
God
are
is love.
supposed to be, well, the thing is,
God
if we are supposed to be we are supposed to come at the word of God with the minds of children, and because children are viewed as innocent, as nothing personally wrong with them. And yet we have children who are born with cancer and things like that, and die very early on in their life cycle. And when I ask them,
Ducky.
why, what purpose
Calming
is
ducks.
that? If your very first reaction is to teach adults lessons, then already your God is fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because if you can sit there and say that this innocent child who was born with a disease that is going to kill them within the first 5 years of their life is to teach the adult a lesson, then your God is fucked up, and there is no reason why he should be worshipped.
Nope. Of course, Nana's going to use the free will argument, which I love. I love when they use that one, because free will doesn't actually exist like you think of it now. Right? And neuroscience has shown that to be the case nowadays.
Oh, this is a good one.
Okay. No, but
God does not give negative energy to anyone.
Yeah,
God
I was
is
going to get
absolute holiness. No desire to bring harm on creation. In that case, why is there harm in creation at all?
No desire to bring harm on creation, but he'll flood the entire planet, killing pregnant women, newborn infants, every single creature ever, except maybe sharks and jellyfish. Like I was saying earlier, they might have survived that. Because when all the water mixes,
because then
it's no longer salinated, right? So you're going to kill all the fish as well. And sorry, it does no desire to bring harm on creation. Sure. Well, he can't, anyways. Remember, because he doesn't exist within our universe. He's outside of space and time. Remember, you're the one that said that. So he wouldn't be able to do that anyways. Because the second he entered our space, he would have to have coordinates. And apparently,
calming swirly blanket thing.
Let me ask you this, Donna. If the Garden of Eden story is true, and your God is all-knowing, then that means he already knew that Adam and Eve would fall in the garden.
Oh, this is
already knew ahead of time.
An innocent child has a disease because their parents made poor choices. So God punishes people who did not commit a crime for people who did commit a crime.
That's not how it works.
So So God punishes people who have not committed any crimes for the crimes of their parents. So that's very
You're born with like 7 generations of shit, which is horseshit. Yeah. It's just another way to keep you roped in. But if you're God all-knowing, well, hang on, let me finish my first thought.
Go ahead.
God is all-knowing, and he already knew ahead of time that Adam and Eve would fall in the garden. So it's basically a setup. Because he knew ahead that the serpent or whatever would speak to them and get them to eat the fruit. And he already knew that, but he let it all happen anyways, which means you were set up. All right, go ahead, Russ.
Mm-hmm. So another common thing that you get whenever you bring up children with cancer and whatnot is the old tired out argument that children automatically go to heaven or whatever. And that's all fine and dandy until you still have to think about why did that child, the child who lived until they were 5 because of cancer, why did that child have to suffer the way that they did? Why on earth? Like, what exactly? What wrong thing?
He likes that.
Yeah, of course. Yahweh does. Yahweh loves making people suffer. After all, he is a war god.
He's a sadistic fuck.
Yeah. But if your God is the all-loving God, why does he have to do that to a child who has done nothing wrong?
It says right in the book that he's a jealous God. You can't be all loving and jealous. It doesn't work that way. Because all loving pretty much says that that's the only emotion he's capable of. So how could he be capable of jealousy?
However, if you would like to come on and have a discussion with me at some point about this, Nana, you feel free to email me at badger@cock.li, and I'll arrange a live stream with you.
I would actually like to see that. I'd like to see that.
I did a live discussion with S.J. Thomason a while ago on
what
Sentinel Island thing.
Punishment.
And it was really just amusing to me when I sent her the email address.
What did she do?
Just had this kind of, this just kind of,
God is a jealous God, but his jealousy is used for good. Jealousy is never used for good. It's a negative emotion. You can't be used for good.
I've never heard of anyone saying, I like this guy because of how jealous he is. Like, the more jealous he's become, the more I like him.
I'm getting all hot and bothered just thinking about it.
This man nearly put his fist through my skull, but that just made me even more into him.
Oh, I'm wet.
There we go. Nice.
All right. And on this violent
bridge.
ending, I got to bring this to a close, you guys, because I gotta take off. I'm fucking starving. I
better put myself back to my actual face now. Yeah.
I had like one piece of chicken when I got home, so I'm gonna go and grab me some food, and then I'm gonna go visit my buddy because I'm all out of weed. I need a refill. Sorry. So I'm gonna go and visit him and grab a couple more buds and roll up a big fat one and smoke it. And think of you guys because you guys made tonight's stream just awesome. Thanks everyone. What? Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that before we go, Nana, you really need to look up Epicurus' Problem of Evil.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Badger and cock. No, if you're on Twitter, hit me up. I'm at 604.
My email address.
We'll chat. And really, hopefully, I'll be able to have you on my show as you're telling me your deconversion story once you realized that you believed in utter nonsense. And believe me, I've had many people on the show that were like that were in your position, and then eventually saw their way through the nonsense. And these are like ex-preachers and ministers, all kinds of people like that. And you can't love Jesus. Love Jesus? What do you mean love Jesus? How do you even know he existed? Because there's no real historical evidence outside of the Bible. So, and yes, I'm one of those mythicists that believes that. So there you go. Anyway.
Oh dear.
Thanks for hanging out with us anyways, Nana. It's always nice to have. So just you shush, Badger.
Okay.
We'll talk about this one. But Nana, even though we don't have the same belief systems, it's nice that you were able to stop in and say a few words. Not poking funny, I'm just actually trying to converse more or less through chat and live. I don't know how that works, but anyway. It took you 10 years to come to your conclusion, so it can take half that time to forget about those conclusions. Trust me. It happens.
I mean, hell, you can look at so many different pastors that spent 20, 30 years with their conclusion. Yeah, they spent 20, 30 years with that conclusion, and then out of nowhere was like, oh, no.
Yeah, Badger, isn't it time for you to get up and go to work now? Or pretty close. It's like 5 a.m. or some shit.
It's 3:30.
Yeah, okay, there you go. That was a couple hours off, a couple of beers.
He's about to have to go. He's about to have to go forage for his berries.
He's got to go do some nut foraging.
Twigs and berries.
Yeah, baby.
Did you hear about the
chicken berries?
Did you hear about the
wedding
panda?
tackle? I am locked into holiness. Well, good for you. No, that's good.
Did you hear about that panda?
What? Wait,
he went into
shoots and leaves. That one?
Yeah, that's the one. He went into a restaurant and it ordered his meal, and the waiter came over with the bill, and he shot the waiter and walked out. The owner of the restaurant comes out and he says, "What the fuck are you doing? You shot my waiter." He says, "Look up pandas."
Dictionary.
He goes, looks up pandas in the dictionary. It just says eats, shoots, and leaves.
Yeah, I heard a different version of that. Actually, it involved prostitution. But anyway, all right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. Well, we have this. He's on delay.
I'm on delay and I'm tired.
Well, no doubt, buddy. It's pretty. Yeah, hugs to you too, Nana. I'm going to call this one a quit. I quit anyways because I gotta go.
Email me, badger@coke.li.
It's not his real email though. Just look him up on look him up on Twitter. He's on Twitter. Anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out.
It's actually my real email.
And Adelinda, man, it's great to have you jump in again. It's always fun when you show up, especially with those fucking headphones of yours, man. I'm like totally jealous.
They gave me a Christmas gift a few years ago. I'm afraid to wear them anywhere else, so I just keep them safely in my room.
I would be wearing that shit proud as shit. I'd be like,
I go to conventions and I see people with tons of these.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Or they have the really cool ones that they go by the signals that your brain gives off and they turn. Like if someone says something to you, they turn to that person, or they can squat down or perk up. It's so awesome.
It sounds like it. And Russ, dude, great to have you in, man. You barely ever jump in these things anymore.
Yeah, I'm always trying to stay away from everyone because if I breathe the wrong way, I feel like it's going to start a controversy.
This is why I love you. You're always welcome in mine, and you know that. And Badger, buddy, you're just pretty much furniture in my. Oh, that's Badger. You throw your feet up on him. He's like an ottoman. It's okay. It's good.
While you're throwing your feet up, I personally recommend that you indulge yourself in some.
I like it.
Indulge yourself in some tea in Battenberg.
Yeah, hell yeah. Sure. Except that mug looks like it's supposed to have beer in it. What's wrong with you?
I sometimes have beer in it as well.
Oh, well, multi-purpose. What was I thinking?
But if you zoom in, it's Hufflepuff, so it has a little badger on it.
Hufflepuff!
Hufflepuff. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. I hope you guys had a good time. I did for sure, but, I always have a good time after a few of these. But anyways, until next time, guys, thanks to all my guests. And again, I know she's still not here, but thanks to Erin for being my guest tonight. I'm in contact with her. We're just starting to plan something else too, so I'm not going to let you in on it yet, but you'll see. But anyways, until next time, guys, like the late great Christopher Hitchens once said, it's called faith because it's not knowledge. We'll see you guys next time.
Good night.